The market is heating up again this week, so we're not doing a top 10 hot cards, we're doing the top 20 hottest Magic cards of the week. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can pre-order Modern Horizons 3 or find a vast number of other great products on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, plus you no longer need any promo codes. The savings is built right into the prices on the site. Same great prices, same great products, and same great service, just without the extra step. You can find their link in the description below. Like I said in the cold open, there is a lot going on this week, and it makes sense. Of course, Outlaws of Thunder Junction was just released. A lot of players are building decks around some of these new cards. Keep in mind though, because the set just came out on Friday officially, we're not going to see any of those cards in today's video. We need to give them a week to develop a baseline and see what direction they're actually going in. And as always, our top 20 hot list is based on a couple things. First, we want to see a percentage increase in the values of the cards. And secondly, we want to see a true increase in the number of sales from week to week. Quickly, before we get into all of it though, just a few things. I do want to say thank you to one of the viewers who gave a super thanks tip last week, and that is Todd Branch. Todd, thank you for all your generous super thanks tips. They mean the world. They really help the channel. Todd is also a gold patron, which is awesome, so thank you again, Todd. And speaking of Patreon, I do want to say thank you to one of our silver patrons as well. That person is Joseph. Joseph, thank you for being a silver patron and for supporting the channel. Again, I couldn't do this without viewers like yourself. And one last thing. Remember, this video is sponsored by FlipsideGaming.com. They have a huge selection of Magic the Gathering products as well as other things on their site. Currently, you can pre-order Modern Horizons 3. You can still pick up Outlaws of Thunder Junction as well, of course. And remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. So head down to the description or the comment section below and you'll find direct links to their site. But now, without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 20 is Open the Way. This is up $1.15 to $2.52. That's an 84% increase. This is a fairly popular commander card that recently saw an increase in play as some wanted to pick it up for the Fallout Mutant Menace deck or put it in fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, the Wise Mothman. Now, however, there are new commander builds around cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction that want to include this card, so it is heating up. The list of builds include Loot the Key to Everything. That's one of the big score subset cards, and cards from the main set too, like Bonnie Paw Kylejrutter, the Gitrog Ravenous Ride, and Bristly Bill Spinesour. Also, Open the Way was mentioned on the MTG Goldfish Commander Clash podcast this week in an episode looking at cards that quietly win the game. That did bring some more attention to it this week. Coming in at number 19 is Auton Soldier. This is up $1.43 to $6.85. That's a 26% increase. This is from the Doctor Who Masters of Evil Commander deck. It's been steadily climbing for a couple months now, as more and more Commander players have decided to get copies for various builds. Recently, some wanted it to upgrade the Fallout Science Commander deck with an exclamation point, while others put it in fresh builds around a card from there, Liberty Prime Recharged. Now, however, there are some builds around Outlaws of Thunder Junction cards that are interested in this too. I'm talking about at least some of the Obeka Splitter Seconds decks, as well as Breaches the Blastmaker. Number 18 is Court of Cunning. This is up $1.81 to $7.91. That is a 30% increase. This has seen play in both Commander and Legacy. In Legacy, it's appeared in some Dimir Scam sideboards. In Commander, it was in a few different builds, like Captain Agathrod, for example. But now, this card is getting pushed thanks to some new ones. Some Commander players have been picking this up to upgrade the Fallout Mutant Menace deck, or to put it in fresh builds around a couple of cards from there, the Wise Mothman and the Master Transcendent. Because of that, inventory on Court of Cunning online was starting to thin out. All it needed was one more push to see a spike, and that push happened in the form of Obeka Splitter of Seconds, from, of course, Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Additionally, I have seen some using it in Bonnie Paw Clearcutter decks too, but Obeka is the true catalyst here. In fact, Court of Cunning is not the last court you're going to see in the video today. Number 17 is Xanathar Guild Kingpin. It goes up 207 this week to 501. That's a 70% increase. This card has been seeing a little commander play. Sometimes it was in Tasha the Witch Queen, for example, but now some new cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction are pushing this. You can see it has an upkeep trigger, so sure, some are putting it in the Commander Obeka Splitter of Seconds builds, but Xanathar also lets you play spells that you don't control, so other players want this to upgrade the Grand Larceny Commander deck, or just put in fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, Gonti Canny Acquisitor. Number 16 is Court of Embereth. This is up 241 to 1138. That's a 27% increase. Another court. This was one of the Wilds of Eldraine commander cards that was found in set boosters, but recently this gained some steam as an upgrade to the Fallout Hail Caesar commander deck, while other players decided to put it in fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, Caesar Legion's Emperor. And again, that dwindled the amount of inventory online, but by now, you know what's pushing this card. Again, it's Obeka Splitter of Seconds. Players and speculators have been all over good Upkeep Matters cards these last few weeks. Number 15 is Grima Saruman's Footman. This is up 247 to 350. That's a 240% increase. It is from the Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, Hosts of Mordor commander deck. And here's another card that lets you play spells that you don't own. So you know what made this hot? It is a good upgrade to the Outlaws of Thunder Junction Grand Larceny commander deck, and some players wanted in fresh builds around a couple cards from there, Gonti Canny Inquisitor and Felix 5 Boots. Number 14 is Power Fist, up $257 to $5. That is a 106% increase. This is from the Fallout Mutant Menace commander deck, and it is in fresh builds around a couple cards from there naturally, the Wise Mothman and Strong the Brutish Thespian. But it is also a good upgrade to the Fallout Scrappy Survivors deck. Plus, it's in fresh builds around a couple cards from there, Dogmeat Everloyal and Kate Cage Brawler. However, now, there is an Outlaws of Thunder Junction card that is tipping the scales here, and that's Felix 5 Boots from the Grand Larceny deck. Power Fist is a good include in commander builds around Felix. Number 13 is Realms Uncharted, up $3.08 to $10.97. That's a 39% increase. This has already seen a fair amount of commander play in various builds, like Hazazon Shaper of Sand, for example, but of course Outlaws of Thunder Junction is causing this to jump now. Some want this to upgrade the Desert Bloom commander deck, while others want it for fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, Yuma Proud Protector. Number 12 is Myth Unbound. It goes up 309 this week to 909. That's a 52% increase, and this was our number 8 hot card on last week's list. Remains hot this week. It is from the Commander 2018 Adaptive Enchantment deck, and it is yet to see a reprint. It has seemed to dry up recently online, however, it has been steadily climbing since the end of last year. It's in some commander builds like Skullbriar the Walking Grave, for example, but I still expect more copies to come out of the woodwork when people see this price jump. Number 11 is Silver Shroud Costume, up $3.51 to $9.71. That's a 57% increase. This was number 11 on our list last week as well. It is from the Scrappy Survivors Fallout commander deck, and it is quickly seeing play in a variety of different builds in the format. Not surprisingly, you're seeing this in fresh builds around a couple cards from its pre-con, Dogmeat Everloyal and Preston Garvey Minuteman. Now though, there are players that want this in builds around new cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction 2, of course. Builds like Loot the Key to Everything from the Big Score subset, Felix 5 Boots from Grand Larceny, Tiny Bones the Pickpocket and Roxanne Starfall Savant from the main set. But there's another card from the main set that is the true catalyst for Silver Shroud Costume Spike this week, and that of course is Obeka, Splitter of Seconds. Which brings us to where we normally begin with number 10, Delayed Blast Fireball, at $4.45 to $24.44. That's a 22% increase. Here we have another fairly popular commander card found in a number of builds like Feldorn Dreadwolf Herald, for example. But now, there is more demand on the card thanks to Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Some wanted to upgrade the Quick Draw commander deck, or put in a fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, Stella Lee Wildcard. But there's another commander build that is pushing Delayed Blast Fireball even more this week. I'm referring to the decks around Loot, the Key to Everything from the Big Score subset. Number 9 is Sabo's Web. This is up $4.62 to $12 for a 63% increase. This was number 7 on the hot list last week. It is an older card that is yet to get another tournament legal printing. It has been seeing play in the pre-modern format for a while, but recently it started showing up as a one-of in some legacy sideboards to deal with non-basic lands that have activated abilities that don't produce mana. I've seen it in decks like Dimir and Grixis Scam, as well as Death Shadow, for example. This new demand has an already hard-to-find card drying up online, and it spikes again this week. Number 8 is Thada, Adele Inquisitor. This is up $6.54 to $20.93. It's a 45% increase. This is an older card that's yet to be reprinted, and it has seen some commander play in builds like Heck Ball of the Surging Soul, for example. But you know what's coming. It's another card that lets you play spells that you do not own. So, some want this to upgrade the Outlaws of Thunder Junction commander deck Grand Larceny, while others are getting it for fresh builds around a couple cards from there again. Capitani Inquisitor and Felix 5 Boots. Number 7 is Scorpec Lord, up $7.53 this week to $7.97. That's a 1,711% increase if you're doing the math at home. So this is from the Warhammer 40k Necron Dynasties Commander deck. It's a card that has seen some Commander play many times in Imhotep the Stormlord from its precon, but it is not Commander causing this spike, but Legacy. A card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction's Big Score subset is boosting Legacy Affinity Patchwork Stompy builds. That card is Simulacrum Synthesizer. Some players are now working Scorpec Lord into these decks too, and copies have dried up online. Number 6 is Cerulean Wisps, up $7.71 to $9.37. That's a 464% increase. Here we have a Shadowmoor common that is yet to see a reprint. Usually I just do this with the rares, but I think I can still do my one per video here. The card came out during a time when there was a recession in the game, so less packs were cracked, and because of that, sometimes when these cards get attention on them, they tend to spike. And that's what's happening here. So what is causing this extra attention? Well, prior, this only saw a little Commander play. Sometimes you might see it in like Orvar the All form, for example. Now though, many players want this to upgrade the Outlaws of Thunder Junction Quick Draw Commander deck, while others wanted a new deck around Stella Lee wildcard from there. Cerulean Wisps along with Stella Lee will let you draw your whole deck if you want, which can lead to a win with Thassa's Oracle as long as you have some counter magic backup. Number 5 is our third court of the day, Court of Locthwain. This is up $7.78 to $23.08. That's a 51% increase, and this was our number 1 hot card last week. Remains hot as you can see this week, and Commander again is the key driver here. Some want this to upgrade the Outlaws of Thunder Junction Commander deck, Grand Larceny. Others want it for fresh builds around the front-facing Commander from there, Capitani Inquisitor. I have seen some putting Court of Locthwain in Commander lists around some cards from the main set though too. Tiny Bones the Pickpocket, Laughing Jasper Flint, and of course, Becca Splitter of Seconds, the real reason the courts are moving the way they are. Number 4 is Extravagance Replication. This goes up $7.98 this week to $17 for an 88% increase. This is from the Streets of New Capenna Maestro's Massacre Commander deck. It was number 6 on our list last week. Well, here we have another card with an upkeep trigger. So of course, players and speculators are looking at it right now. The players want it for Commander builds around a couple cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. One is Eredi the Beguiler, but of course the other one, which is truly making Extravagant Replication jump, is Becca Splitter of Seconds. Number 3 is Grim Hireling. The Adventures in the Forgotten Realms Commander copy is of $6.56 to $18.90. That is from the Planar Portal Commander deck, and that is a 53% increase. The Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate copy is up $9.54 to $19.99, and that's a 91% increase. So here we have a card that fits into a lot of new Commander builds around cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, particularly because it's an Outlaw. It is a good upgrade for both the Most Wanted and the Grand Larceny Commander decks. It's a new builds around Olivia Opulent Outlaw and Vihen Goldwaker from Most Wanted, as well as Capitani Inquisitor and Felix 5 Boots from Grand Larceny. You also see this in decks around Laughing Jasper Flint from the main set. Our number 2 card this week is Sicarian Infiltrator, up $12.03 to $13.99. That is a 614% increase. It is from the Warhammer 40k Forces of the Imperium Commander deck, and it's been seeing some Commander playing several builds like Marnie's Calgar from its precon, but this is another card moving due to Legacy Affinity Patchwork Stompy decks. Those builds run 1 to 3 copies of the card in the main right now, and like Scorpec Lord, this Warhammer card quickly disappeared from the online marketplace once people started seeing what was going on with that deck. And finally, coming in at number 1 this week is Norin the Wary from Time Spiral. This goes up $31.03 to $36.99. That's a 521% increase. There's also a foil from Mystery Booster Retail Edition right now that's hot too. We don't really talk about foils in this video, but if you're interested, definitely check that out. Now, when it comes to gameplay, it's a fairly popular commander. It's in the 99 of some builds there too. The reason it took off though is because Aspiring Spike streamed a Modern Brewing session where he put together a Satoru Vile deck that ran 4 copies of Norin in the main. Now that deck is made possible because of a new card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Satoru the Infiltrator. As you can imagine, Norin and Satoru together can lead to a lot of card draw. Anyway, the deck did look good. We have to see how it performs in the format in the weeks to come, but right now, Norin is a very hot card. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Now, if you want to know what cards are going down in value, because maybe you're looking for some deals out there, maybe you want to buy some cards as they're moving down in price and not up in price, check out our video coming up later in the week where we look at the top 10 cold cards. Until next time, though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.